With the series in the bag, टीम इंडिया पहुंच गई है बेंगलुरु अपना तीसरा T20I खेलने अफगानिस्तान के विरुद्ध. A lot of talking points from that second T20I. Of course, रो को एक साथ देखा हमने 14 महीने के बाद. रोहित शर्मा की वापसी हो गई थी मोहाली में, विराट कोहली की वापसी हुई इंदौर में. रन्स बने खूब सारे, बातें हुई बहुत सारी. शिवम दुबे, यशस्वी जायसवाल, there's so much to talk about. Hello, welcome. You're watching Follow the Blues live. My name is Tanay Tiwari. With me, our Follow the Blues insider Rohan Deshmukh and senior ESPN Cricket info journalist Nagaraj Golapudi. Nagaraj, it is because of your presence that I've been forced to wear these glasses just to look all prim and proper and smart. So if I don't talk smart, just look smart. Please make do with that.
सच ढच के आए हो, अच्छे दिख रहे हो.
बस इतना ही. That is it. Let's move on. No more chats on my intellect. But the one thing, Rohan and Nagaraj, both of you, and I'd like your remarks on both from both of you on that, is Virat Kohli. And there was just so much anticipation क्योंकि जब विराट कोहली आए वापस तो बहुत चर्चा थी कि वो स्ट्राइक रेट कैसा होगा, अप्रोच बदलेंगे कि नहीं बदलेंगे. लेकिन रोहन भाई आए तो लगा कि एक प्री कंसीव नोशन के साथ आए हैं जहन में कि मुझे अप्रोच बदलनी है. और वो देखा 16 गेंदों में आई थिंक 5 में बाउंड्रीज लगाई उन्होंने. 16 गेंदों में 28-29 रन, 180 का स्ट्राइक रेट. बदले मिजाज दिखे.
Yeah, तने और लगने भी चाहिए थे because at the other end you had यशस्वी जायसवाल, a youngster who was really striking it big. और कहीं ना कहीं हमने देखा है कि विराट ने जो है काफ़ी टाइम से जो है अभ्यास में ये शुरू किया था कि जो है लंबे शॉट्स खेलना है. और इंदौर के जो अभ्यास सत्र में भी कहीं ना कहीं दिखा हमें कि जो वीडियोस हमने देखे थे बीसीसीआई ने जो डाले थे उसमें कि काफ़ी लंबे शॉट्स खेलने की जो है अब प्रैक्टिस हो रही थी वहाँ पर. And it is a need of the hour for the Indian team where you have Virat Kohli playing at a much bigger strike rate. हालांकि आईपीएल में जो है वो उन्होंने ऑलमोस्ट 140 के स्ट्राइक रेट से काफ़ी सारे रन बनाए थे. लेकिन अभी जो हर जगह चर्चा हो रही है कि स्ट्राइक रेट को लेकर चर्चा हो रही है कि स्ट्राइक रेट जो है 140-160 के ऊपर होना चाहिए. तो कहीं ना कहीं वो एफर्ट दिखा, पहले बॉल से वो इंटेंट दिखा हमें विराट की बल्लेबाजी में कि जो है ही वॉज डिसाइडिंग that he had to come and attack the ball from ball one. But there is another thing, do we really want to see Virat Kohli scoring 30-40 runs off 20 balls, or do we want him to see score big runs, because पहले उनका टेम्पलेट यही था, थोड़ा सेट होते थे और उसके बाद जो है वो कवर अप करते थे. he used to then ensure that his strike rate goes up. So it is something which everyone will have to figure out. I am sure the team management will also see कि एक तरीके से कहीं ना कहीं हो नहीं सकता है. अगर पहले इंडिया बैटिंग करती है तो किस तरह से जो है अप्रोच करेगी, क्योंकि अब तक जो है 2 मैचेस में हमने देखा नहीं है इंडिया को पहले बल्लेबाजी करते हुए. तो इफ इंडिया डिसाइड्स टू बैट फर्स्ट और समहाउ अफगानिस्तान टॉस जीतती है और कहती है इंडिया हैज टू गो एंड बैट फर्स्ट इन बेंगलुरु, तो किस तरह का अप्रोच होगा, दैट इज समथिंग दैट वी विल हैव टू सी.
Nagaraj, it's so funny. The question really is to strike rate or not to strike rate. अब तक सारी चर्चा थी Virat Kohli strike rate in T20I, is that approach. Now that he's gone there, everyone's suddenly wondering, what about the big scores? What did you make of that approach, and what do you see the road ahead for Virat Kohli in T20Is?
Poor Virat, man. Even if he doesn't play, there's attention on him. He's resting. Why is he resting?
Correct.
If he comes back immediately, does he strike? And what's his strike rate? So yeah, I mean, amazing. So clearly a really good innings, but we can't take too much there. Not too many takeaways personally for me, in the sense that it's the first time he's also playing since 2023 IPL. Correct me if I'm wrong. So he must be really happy.
Yeah, no, he is.
Yes, everyone is very anticipating exactly what is the new avatar of Kohli going to be, and if there is going to be a new avatar, what is it that the team management want from him? If you just restrict it for yesterday's innings, you saw that like it was more like a cameo he played. Does he like it? Does he buy into it? We will only come to know, okay, not in international cricket, but in IPL we'll have in a couple of months' time. When IPL starts, we'll have an easy understanding of, has Kohli bought into this, whether he's comfortable into this kind of thing. But you also have to take, he was batting second yesterday, so there was no pressure. His strike rate is amazing when he plays in power plays. He literally played like an opener. I was checking his numbers since last 21 Before, yeah. Actually, from 2021 T20 World Cup, including IPLs, which includes 2 IPLs, his strike rate in power play is batting second, is in the 160s. Batting first is a different story. So that's where those are the kind of questions I would want, and we will need to wait for a sample size of batting first, the context, the opposition, the bowling, etc. How does Kohli perform against that? So yeah, but it's a very welcome approach. India or Dravid, etc. will be very happy because the way Kohli played, he freed his arms, he played some memorable strokes. Everyone is talking about that one straight lofted high elbow shot which brought back the memories of 2022 T20 World Cup against Haris Rauf. So yeah, good signs, but too early to predict whether this is how Kohli will play for me.
Oh, that's right, actually. And that shot wasn't really met with a lot of appreciation from Virat Kohli himself. He was disappointed after playing that shot because he thought it would go for a six and it didn't. And I think that somewhere signals the kind of mental approach that he's bringing to T20Is now. But as Nagraj said, it's a very small sample size, just one innings. The only problem is approaching that T20 World Cup, you don't have a lot of opportunities to enhance that sample size. Only thing that you will perhaps see is the IPL performances and how he does there. But there's a lot happening on social media every time Virat Kohli plays. But this time around, there was something else as well. Novak Djokovic and Virat Kohli, this bromance is going to another level, Rohan bhai. Now, he said that thank you for your kind words, Virat, because, of course, Virat said that he went to that profile and spoke about texting Novak, and then says, looking forward to the day we play together, and has added a tennis ball emoji and a cricket emoji as well. So is there a tennis ball cricket match or a tennis match and cricket match as well going on?
ये एक्सपेक्ट तो कर रहे हैं ना, हम कहीं ना कहीं उन्होंने कहा ना विराट ने कि शायद कहीं ना कहीं तो खेले, टेनिस नहीं तो क्रिकेट खेले. दैट विल बी इंटरेस्टिंग वन टू वॉच आउट फॉर. Novak Djokovic and Virat Kohli of going up head to head, but it just sort of speaks about the global kind of brand image of Virat Kohli, considering how popular he is among global athletes as well. जिस तरह से जो है global athletes के साथ उनकी बातचीत होती है, this is another example to it. We have seen Harry Kane in the past also, उनके साथ भी हुआ था. फिर Roger Federer is another one. So quite a few. It's a very nice thing to see one of our Indian sports persons being recognized and having this kind of a camaraderie amongst the other global sports persons in the world.
मैं सिर्फ ये कह रहा हूँ कि अगर टेनिस कोर्ट पे क्रिकेट खेलने का प्लान बने तो वो स्टीव स्मिथ की तरह नेट से नहीं आगे से करना पड़ेगा. विराट कोहली हैज बेटर स्ट्राइकिंग एबिलिटीज, वो बाहर मार देंगे उस कोर्ट से. बट दैट विल ऑफ कोर्स बी रिमेन टू बी सीन. बट Nagraj, there's another question. You just said that it's very difficult to be Virat Kohli. It's not easy to be Rohit Sharma either, coming back into the T20Is after 14 months. And it's not, especially in recent times, this format hasn't been the kindest to Rohit Sharma. Add to that 2 ducks. What did you read into his performances?
Again, not too much. Let's not get carried away. I mean, okay, he holds that. He would be like not happy with holding the record for the most ducks in T20 cricket. It's, what is it, 12 now? Yeah.
12 now.
But I think the 11th duck was courtesy of the host, Mr. Shubman Gill. I think so I don't think Rohit would like that. So 2 ducks in a row. I think the first match, one out, not in his hands. It was his call and it's unfortunate. Yesterday, yes, he went for the slog. He got out, but it did indicate that this is how I'm going to play, taking over from the ODI World Cup. The way he played, this is exactly what he played like. His numbers, in fact, one of the shows last week we were talking about, his T20 numbers in 23 IPL were good. He knows, he understands that exactly. He needs to pick up his... so I think Rohit will play the way he played in the ODI World Cup, but I think with Virat playing the way it is, and if this is the brand of cricket they want to play, then it allows Rohit to just play his natural game, which is like hit virtually every ball. So, and not bother about strike rates, not bother about anything else. And at the other end, which I'm guessing we will discuss, is a super solid left-handed youngster who is striking like amazingly in T20 cricket, and that gives these seniors the confidence that, okay, fine, I can allow the other, I don't need to take that pressure. There's someone else also taking that pressure. There's someone else who's hitting those big runs. So that allows them to monitor the situation and play accordingly. So I feel it's quite, I don't see, again, let's not read too much into Rohit, 2 ducks, no. And even if he's playing just one T20I in Bangalore before the T20 World Cup, It's Rohit. He's like what, number 2 behind Kohli in the most T20
Yeah.
runs list or something, in the top runners, run
Yeah.
getters in T20s. So, yeah, once again, like, let's not kind of.
Yeah.
I don't think Rohit would be worried if you were Rohit.
I think the takeaway from that is, Rohan bhai, from Nagaraj's assessment is कि चिंता मत करो, it is Rohit. That is it. That's the bottom line. अब पिछले 10 T20Is में चिंता फैंस के संग होती भी है ना, क्योंकि इतना सारा क्रिकेट देखकर आ रहे हैं फैंस, और रोहित शर्मा जैसे खिलाड़ी जिन्होंने खुद, ये रोहित की भी गलती, उन्होंने आदत बना दी है फैंस की कि इतने सारे रन्स बनाऊंगा मैं, कि जब कोई ऐसा पैच आता है, अब आखिरी 10 T20 इंटरनेशनल्स में आप देखिए औसत 15.9 का है, 50 प्लस का एक ही स्कोर आया है, 105 का स्ट्राइक रेट। और रोहन भाई, उसी को सुधारने की कयास भी है ये, जिस तरीके से हमने पिछले दोनों मुकाबलों में देखा, जहां वो रन आउट भी हुए, वहां भी उन्होंने स्टेप आउट कर कर मिड ऑफ की तरफ वो शॉट खेला था, यहां पर भी वो स्टेप आउट कर कर पहली गेंद से वो इंपैक्ट बनाना चाह रहे थे। उस तो मतलब जहन में कहीं है कि स्ट्राइक रेट भी बेहतर करना है।
तने अच्छा किया ये आपने जो एक ग्राफिक निकाला, क्योंकि ये सोशल मीडिया पे जो है आज के दिन काफ़ी जो है ट्रेंड हो रहा है कि किस तरह से पिछले 10 T20Is में जो है ना रोहित का परफॉर्मेंस ठीक नहीं रहा है। कहीं ना कहीं इस 10 मैचेस की अगर बात की जाए तो 8 2022 के थे, और उस वक्त भी कहीं ना कहीं जो कहीं ना कहीं वहाँ पर जो है एक बातचीत हो रही थी कि अग्रेसिव मोड में तब भी खेलना है 2022 वर्ल्ड कप के पहले। सो दैट वाज द थिंकिंग। यस, ऐसे नागराज ने भी कहा कि आईपीएल में भी जो है नंबर्स इतने अच्छे नहीं रहे, अराउंड 332 रन्स रहे हैं, स्ट्राइक रेट was almost 130 के आसपास, इतना स्ट्राइक रेट अच्छा नहीं रहा है। बट द इंटेंट नाउ, आई थिंक इट हैज बीन डिसाइडेड बाय द टीम मैनेजमेंट, एंड दिस कैन बी क्लियरली सीन विद द वे द फर्स्ट 2 T20Is वर प्लेड, कि जिस तरह से जो है ओपनर्स ने शुरुआत की, जिस तरह से यशस्वी जायसवाल ने शुरुआत की, और रोहित पहले बॉल पे जो आके मारे थे, तो प्री डिसाइडेड था, कहीं ना कहीं डिसाइडेड था इंटेंट कि पहले बॉल से मारना है, जो कि ओडीआईज में उन्होंने कर दिखाया था। With Virat Kohli in the side, could this also be a possibility कि वो कोशिश वही करेंगे, try to replicate the same template which they did it in ODIs, जहाँ पर पावर प्ले में जो है रोहित was playing the aggressor। अगर और यहाँ पर यशस्वी जायसवाल भी है, जैसे कि नागराज ने कहा, जो कि he is in amazing form and someone which Indian team has been grooming to play that role at the top of the order as an attacking left-handed batsman। तो अगर दोनों अटैक कर रहे हैं और नंबर 3 पे विराट आ रहे हैं, तो could there be a flexibility in terms of how Virat also plays, and therefore gives Rohit the license कि मैं पहले बॉल से जो है बाउंड्री के लिए जाने वाला हूँ, because he knows that there is another batsman who can actually, if anything goes wrong, अगर 3 विकेट गिरते हैं, there is someone who can possibly play the rest of the 20 overs।
अरे सो राइट, बहुत सारे पीसेस अभी भी जोड़ने बाकी हैं, बहुत सारी चर्चा अप्रोच पे करनी बाकी है, और हम बार बार ये बात करते आ रहे हैं कि शायद आपके पास गेम टाइम कम है बतौर एक यूनिट, तो इसलिए आईपीएल परफॉर्मेंसेस, आईपीएल में किस तरीके के रोल्स होते हैं इन सारे स्पेशली सीनियर खिलाड़ियों के, वो देखना बहुत दिलचस्प होगा। बट Nagaraj, there was also one more interesting thing. I mean, left doesn't really do that well in this part of the country in another realm, but left was just right just with the bat, be it Yashasvi Jaiswal, be it Shivam Dube, just the way these two have come to the fore and almost grasped all the opportunities that have come their way. Let's begin with Yashasvi Jaiswal. Just his stroke play, and I think innings like the one yesterday show you why this team really wants Yashasvi Jaiswal in the mix.
Yeah, before I go to Yashasvi, can I just correct one thing that Rohan said? He quoted me as saying that Rohit's numbers in IPL are weak. I didn't say that. Actually, his numbers in 23 IPL were really good. His strike rate is something like 138 and 140 in power play and middle overs. So we shouldn't be bothered about that. As for Yashasvi, yes, again, if I have to quote his numbers, I was again watching it. In the power play in 2023, Jaiswal had a strike rate of 150, which is among the top guys. Then if you look at, and that is like improving from 122 in 2022, where he played only 5 matches again. And where he's improved, the area he's really improved is in the middle overs. And I just looked at between over number 7 and over number 10. Last year, Jaiswal had again a strike rate of 150 there. So Jaiswal is like, I think he's understood, more than understood, he's enjoying his game. He plays freely. He plays with that. His stroke play is amazing. I think W.B. Raman was pointing out that there was one stroke where he played, I forget the bowler, I think it might have been Naveen Fall, he hit him over the cover, and he spoke about how his bat flow, the bat swing, and his quick hands
Naveen,
just
yeah,
pick
you're
that
right.
length, and it's amazing. Like technically, he holds a shape. You bowl him any kind of ball against any kind of bowling. Also, he has kind of he understood that his tempo, I think, is I'm going to hit the ball. Why? I don't need to worry at all. I don't need to. My role is to hit the ball, and I hit it. And most of the times it comes across. And if you look at it, he was last one of the overs. I think it was Faruqi who dropped him. It was a return catch, dropped him, and then bowled a short ball, and then he hooked him. And that shot was such a lovely shot. I mean, it's the flow and the confidence of Jaiswal is clearly like, and also being a left-hander, is like it gives India a really big advantage in the top order. He's kind of really answered that question that do we need a left-hander in the top order? Is there a performer? And he's kind of answered that, and I think he's the first pick now straight away for the T20 World Cup, regardless of what kind of IPL he has, I feel.
ये बात सच है रोहन भाई, क्योंकि आप और हम साथ में थे साउथ अफ्रीका में जब हमने उनसे चर्चा भी करी थी उस T20I के बाद, और उसमें भी उन्होंने कहा था the other aspect of his game is that he's very self aware. हर इनिंग के बाद, हर नॉक के बाद, कल भी शायद हमने उनको कहते हुए सुना कि अभी और मेहनत करनी है, अभी और बेहतर करना है अपने गेम को, and that's very evident in just how he's batting everywhere, and he's self aware. But what did Yashasvi actually say? ये तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ, खाली मैं पैराफ्रेज कर रहा हूँ, खुद उन्होंने क्या कहा आपको सुनाते हैं.
I have been told to go and express myself and trying to do what I do and just keep working hard on my practice sessions and on my process, that whenever I get chance I try my best and make sure that I'm doing things for team which is important, and I'm just trying to make my intent well and trying to do well for my team. मैं कोशिश यही कर रहा था कि जो लूज बॉल है उन पे रन्स बनाऊं और अच्छा स्टार्ट दूं टीम को, और अगर मैंने अच्छा स्टार्ट दे दिया तो कोशिश करूं कि मैं जितना डीप लेके जाऊं, और मैं यही कोशिश कर रहा था कि मेरा स्ट्राइक रेट अच्छा रहे, मैं अच्छे स्ट्राइक रेट के साथ बैटिंग करता रहूं.
जस्ट इन जनरल, और स्ट्राइक रेट की बात खुद करी यशस्वी जायसवाल ने. आप 1 से 6 ओवर्स के बीच देखेंगे 100 प्लस गेंदें जिस बल्लेबाज ने खेली हैं टॉप 10 टीमों में, तो वहां 163.3 सबसे बेहतर स्ट्राइक रेट. और उनके साथ कुछ बहुत नामचीन, चाहे वो फिल सॉल्ट हो चाहे रीजा हेंड्रिक्स हो, हमने दोनों को देखा है बिग स्ट्राइकिंग करते हुए. यशस्वी जायसवाल स्ट्राइक रेट पर बहुत ज्यादा एम्फेसिस है, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ जो रन्स बना रहे हैं, जैसा नागराज ने भी कहा थोड़ी देर पहले रोहन भाई, ऑलमोस्ट श्योरिटी कहेंगे आप, मतलब बहुत कुछ गलत होना होगा यशस्वी जायसवाल को उस यूएस की फ्लाइट ना लेने के लिए.
एब्सोल्युटली, आई मीन कहीं ना कहीं इंडियन टीम को वो एक लेफ्ट हैंडेड फायर ब्रांड बैट्समैन चाहिए था टॉप ऑफ द ऑर्डर टू गो एट 160 स्ट्राइक रेट. बट नागराज, कम ऑन मैन, यू आर बीइंग अ लिटिल बिट लीनिएंट ऑन रोहित हियर मैन. वी वांट मोर, much more of a strike rate for him in the IPL. 132 was his strike rate in IPL 2023. We need much more. We need much more. Rohit, yes.
अच्छा, मैं
132.
रोहित को बोलता हूँ.
Come on, I'm sure you can pass on the message.
अच्छा, तू मेरे को
Give you a breather, Nagaraj, you can call him. Yeah.
No, I'm sure you're talking about the power play, and I'm talking about the entire innings. But come on, man, we need Rohit to fire, because we've seen what he's done in the 50 overs format. So obviously, I'm sure that's. I think हमें दिखेगा उसकी थोड़ी झलक जो है बेंगलुरु में दिखेगी, और उसके आगे भी दिखेगी. And Yashasvi, obviously, as you said, Yashasvi has been, someone who has been earmarked to do that job for India for some time now. I'm sure Nagaraj can shed a bit more light on how much of the team management has put the faith in Yashasvi, the opener.
Well, he's been given a role. He's so clear that he's one guy who's playing the T20 brand of cricket that many people have been asking India to play for quite some time. And before this, the only other batter who played like that kind of a role for me was Prithvi Shaw. he would have walked into the team if like in at one point of time, because he still remains, if you look at the numbers overall in the last 5-6 years, Shaw is one of the top guys, but now Jaiswal has taken that role, and he's being a left-hander, he kind of poses that challenge for the bowling unit with the left-right opening bat India has right now. So I think his confidence is growing. He's young, and he's enjoying that thing. There's his kind of, and if a youngster is talking about strike rate, he knows that this is what I need to do, and he's not taking the pressure, which is incredible. That he's like not saying that, you know what, I know my game and I can. He's not just picking the loose balls; he's playing the difficult balls also and hitting them for fours and picking gaps. So yeah, it's good signs as of now. So.
Nagaraj, he wasn't, he isn't, especially based on the sample size of the last two T20Is, he isn't the only one who's batting like a proper T20I batter. There's Shivam Dube as well. Some real clean hitting. You can't count him out. But the one question, and I saw a lot of comparisons on online, Yuvraj Singh, Shivam Dube, does he remind you of it?
Force me to remind of him. Okay, they're two distinct players. Left-handers, tall, bat swing. Yeah, everyone was immediately like imagine, because Yuvraj's shots are so embedded in our brain that every time someone plays like that, you think that it is UE, but UE is UE. UE's like, and he's done it on the bigger stage, and it's too early for me to even think about it. But I would cut some slack for Dube and say that with the little chances he's got now, he's played like, I don't know whether it is the influence of Rohit, whether it is just like playing with that, okay, fine, I have nothing to lose here, because he doesn't know the moment Surya and Hardik walk in, you don't know whether Dube will be even in the 15 for that matter. So Dube is like saying, boss, I've got this opportunity, let me just play, and this is what they've told me, play you can see the difference between Mohali and Indore, the way he played these innings. In Mohali, people were saying, oh no, look at his strike rate. But he was saying that I want to play my game. I'm going to pick those balls and the areas and the bowler. And he played in Mohali at a good. He picked it up very nicely, his strike rate later on. But he scored the runs the way he wanted to score. And in Indore, it just was that the ball was coming in his zone and he was just like, okay, fine. But he went with that. So, yeah, it's a good backup option for sure. Dube gives you that sort of headache for the selectors. What do we do? He's also bowling. Okay, he's not like a guy who's going to walk in as like a Hardik, as a bowler all-rounder. So at the moment, I would consider him as a backup more than as a straight pick for the 15.
That's interesting. Now, Ron bhai, historically, history में जो events होते हैं ना, वो usually उनका जो timeline होता है, वो BC और AD होता है. शिवम दुबे के साथ भी वैसा ही है. It was before CSK, after Dhoni, and that impact is incredible. अगर आप उन numbers को देखेंगे, और इस IPL जब हमने उनसे चर्चा करी थी, I remember चिन्नस्वामी स्टेडियम पर मैंने उनसे चर्चा करी, बात करी, उन्होंने वहां भी यही कहा था, और उसके बाद हर इंटरव्यू में भी यही कहा है कि मैं कुछ नहीं करता, मुझे जो माही भाई बता देते हैं वो करता हूँ. पहले मोहाली के T20I के बाद भी अगर आपने उनकी बातें सुनी हो, उन्होंने कहा मैंने बहुत कुछ सीखा है उनसे अबाउट फिनिशिंग द गेम्स, अबाउट बिल्डिंग दोज इनिंग्स, और वो इन आंकड़ों में साफ झलक रहा है. सीएसके में आने से पहले 69 मैचेस में 1020 के आसपास रन, स्ट्राइक रेट 130 के आसपास का, सिर्फ 3 हाफ सेंचुरीज. वो स्ट्राइक रेट बढ़ गया है अगले 27 मैचेस में. तो वो कहीं ना कहीं जो मेंटल शिफ्ट की बात वो खुद कर रहे हैं, इतने वोकल हो रहे हैं, जो चीजें सीख कर आ रहे हैं, वो धोनी मंत्रा पहुंच गए दुबे तक भी.
एब्सोल्युटली यार, कहीं ना कहीं ये जो है इट्स रिफ्लेक्टिंग इन द स्टैट्स आल्सो, एंड आल्सो ही इज बीइंग एडमिटिंग इट टाइम आफ्टर टाइम कि कितना जो है महेंद्र सिंह धोनी का इन्फ्लुएंस उनके करियर में रहा है, और किस तरह से जो है एक गुरु ज्ञान जो है उन्हें एम एस धोनी से मिल रहा है ऑन हाउ टू फिनिश द गेम्स. सिर्फ शिवम दुबे नहीं, इनफैक्ट रिंकू सिंह ने भी इस बात का जिक्र किया था कि जो है उन्होंने आईपीएल के वक्त जो है एम एस धोनी से बातचीत की थी और उनसे जाना कि फिनिशिंग किस तरह से करनी चाहिए, और कुछ वहां पर भी गुरु मंत्र उनको दिया गया था. एंड ऑब्वियसली कहीं ना कहीं शिवम दुबे हैज टेकन इट टू हिज हार्ट. नागराज को याद रहेगा बिकॉज व्हेन शिवम दुबे फर्स्ट केम ऑन टू द सीन, ही वाज सॉर्ट ऑफ would it right to say, Nagaraj, that he was sort of hurried into the things, because when he came into the mix a few years ago, he was seen as the next big thing, but kahin na kahin jo hai uske baad jo hai unka ek graph niche gaya, and it's for everyone to see how the contrast has been before CSK and after CSK, Nagaraj.
Uh, I can't remember, honestly. When was the first time? I can't remember. So मैं झूठ नहीं बोलूँगा. But
I think was it on the
thing
tour
is
of New
about
Zealand, maybe?
technique. Yeah, it could be like it. I
Yeah.
cannot seriously. I don't want to put. But I vaguely, from what I
Okay.
remember, was obviously again the short ball comes into play, and that I think maybe New Zealand conditions possibly. So the swing. So you can't it can't be too harsh on him, and also like have. We didn't play too many T20s in the last year, right? Or when was it? Did he play in Ireland and then he didn't play in South Africa in the T20s? So if you don't get so you can't blame that. Yes, Dhoni's role, he's saying that he performs, but the role that he performs again in at CSK is slightly different, isn't it? Does he come that early to bat? I feel he plays more as a finisher in that sense, and not sure if he was playing all the games again at CSK. So. Like I said, I stick to it that he is one of the backups now to be considered. It's also like India don't have too many bowling all-rounders who can bat. So there's Dube and there's Venkatesh Iyer. Correct me if I'm wrong if I've missed any other name. I can't think of any other no name comes straight to my head. So Dube, I think, is going to be asked to be prepared. Just be prepared in case there is an injury scare for Hardik or something like that. He would be like the first pick, and he would want to be like India's finishers area is like it's the lower order is a weakness. So yeah, can Shivam Dube grow into a sixth bowling option? That's to be considered. That is like something that we could look at that question. If he can answer that question during the IPL, that would be an interesting one for the selectors, because India usually don't play six bowlers. They only stick to five bowlers.
Yeah.
So that would be an interesting one, because yeah, he grows into that role. He adapts to that. It'll be amazing if he gets if Dhoni can do some sort of magic again for another season. That'll be great for Dube.
Dhoni magic. Don't be all anticipated in all facets of that Chennai Super Kings outfit. But that's all the magic we have to deliver today. Big thanks to Nagraj. Big thanks to Rohan for joining us today. बहुत शुक्रिया आप सबका भी. आपसे मुलाकात कल शाम 5 बजे. Follow the Blues Live. Same time, same place. तब तक के लिए